Welcome to the 2025 Texas 4-H Virtual Sport Fishing Program. My name is Dr. Jheri-Lynn and I'm the Extension Program Specialist for 4-H Youth Development in District 5. I'm also the Tournament Director for the Virtual Sport Fishing Program. Today we're going to explore the different components of the Sport Fishing Program, explain how you can participate, discuss the different aspects of the tournament, including the freshwater and saltwater division, and highlight how to use the Fish Donkey Professional Tournament app. Share information on our two newest components, the Skillathon and the Sport Fishing Certification Program, and lastly, answer any questions you might have about our program, and then explain how to complete the participation survey in order to get credit for your certification. There are four components that make up our virtual sport fishing program. The first are the live educational programs, and you are participating today in the first of three that we will be offering this spring. The second program will be on April the 3rd, where you'll have the opportunity to see how to measure fish on the Check-It stick and how to handle those tournament fish responsibly. On April 17th, we'll be introducing Fishing 101. The basics to get you out on the water, where you'll learn about fish tying techniques, casting, what lures to use if you're fishing in saltwater or freshwater, and answer any questions you might have on fishing. The second component is our tournament. We have two divisions of freshwater and saltwater. You can register in either or both. The spring tournament will be held from April the 5th through May the 30th. All tournaments start at 12 midnight and end at 11:59 on the day of closing. Our summer tournament will kick off on June the 14th and end on August the 9th. So you have 8 weeks to fish in the spring and in the summer. Our two newest components this year are the Sport Fishing Skillathon Contest and our Sport Fishing Certification Program. And I'm going to explain a little bit more about both of those programs in the upcoming slides. Now let's discuss how to participate in the sport fishing program. First of all, you need to enroll in Texas 4-H. Go to texas.4honline.com where you'll set up your family profile and enroll as either a 4-H youth or a Clover kid. A 4-H youth is going to be a child that is in grades 3rd through 12th and a minimum of 8 years of age. And a Clover kid is going to be a child that's younger, that is ages 5 through 8 years. Once you're enrolled in 4-H, then you can register for the different components. You'll do this on 4-H Online. There, you'll choose whether you want to participate in the sport fishing tournament or the contest, but you can do both. In our sport fishing tournament, you're going to go out and fish and upload your pictures into our professional tournament app for judging. The Skillathon contest is where you're going to submit information and demonstrate your skills in fishing and also test your knowledge on different aspects of sport fishing. If you want to participate in any of the educational components, we have a Google link that you can use to register to participate in those. And lastly, if you are fishing in the tournament, you'll need to download the Fish Donkey app. And this is for our 4-H youth only because our Clover kids are not competing. They are just uploading their pictures to me directly via email for bragging rights. But you'll go to fishdonkey.com/app to download the Fish Donkey app. Now the beauty of this program is that it is virtual. That means anybody can fish anywhere they are at across the state of Texas. You just need to make sure that you're fishing where it's legal, and if you're using somebody else's land, that you have permission from the landowner to be fishing on their location. If you're fishing off our coastline, you can fish within 9 nautical miles. All right, let's move on and look at Clover participation. All right. Let's talk about Clover Kid participation. There is no fee for Clover Kids to participate. However, they must be enrolled in 4-H and register to participate in the tournament. As I said earlier, Clover Kids are not eligible to compete in contests. but they can send their pictures of their catches to me at jlmacswain@ag.tamu.edu. There I'll showcase those great catches of those Clover kids on our Facebook page. At the end of our program, Clover kids will receive a sport fishing certificate and a special 4-H fishing lure with the 4-H logo to showcase that they have participated in our program this year. Now it's time to talk about the tournament component. The spring tournament kicks off April 5th and ends May 30th, 2025. All first-time 4-H youth will receive a Check-It Stick brand with the 4-H logo. If you already have a Check-It Stick and you want to get out and start fishing on the first day of April 5th, maybe before you pick up your Check-It Stick from the county office, you are welcome to do so. Just make sure it has the Check-It Stick brand logo on that measuring board. We have gone ahead and mailed out all the Check-It Sticks. Please check with your local county extension agent because we sent them to their office. Then next, you'll need to download the Fish Donkey app and set up your individual profile. Get out there and fish, open that app, and take a photo of your fish on the Check-It Stick and what we call our hero pic, a picture of you with your fish. You can either hold the fish, or have it on your Check-It Stick, but we need to see your face in that picture. And be sure, lastly, to follow all our tournament judging rules, which we'll talk about next. There are 7 rules of play for our tournament. The first is to use a rod and reel to catch your fish. I know it's often popular and also legal to use noodles, throw nets, jugs, and even your bare hands to catch catfish. But this tournament is featuring learning the skills of casting in a rod and reel. Make sure the fish you catch qualifies as a species allowed in this tournament. Check the Texas Parks and Wildlife Outdoor Annual on how to correctly ID fish. Also see the Outdoor Annual on how to correctly measure your fish on the Check-It Stick. All fish in this tournament are considered soft tail and the tail fin must be pitched to a point. Make sure the mouth of your fish is completely closed and touching the very front of the upright part of the measuring board. Your hands may be in the picture holding the fish. Just don't cover up the part touching the upright part of the Check-It Stick or the numbers where you have the pinched tail. We need to be able to see every part of the fish and the numbers on your board, so make sure they're legible. Then lastly, take a selfie with your fish. This is your hero pic. I will show you a good photo of a fish for judging on an upcoming slide. Now I'd like to share information on the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department. They are our regulating body for Texas sport fishing in the state. Almost all fishes caught in Texas have a sport fishing regulation attached to it. You may need a license, depending on the age of your child, and sometimes for that particular location, you may need a tag for the species that you're catching. If you're keeping the fish that you catch, you need to be aware of length limits, endangered species, and bag limits. These could be different for locations and parts of Texas. In the Texas Parks and Wildlife Outdoor Annual, all the regulations are spelled out. There's also a section on identifying fish with pictures so you can identify those saltwater and freshwater fish. Be aware there are lots of bass hybrids out there. So by identifying and looking at this key, you can make sure that you're catching the fish that are permitted in our tournament this year. Let's talk about the 2 divisions we have in our tournament. First up is the saltwater division. These are going to be fish that are caught off the Texas coastline. Remember, you can fish up to 9 nautical miles to be legal. The species that we are fishing for this year include the spotted sea trout, the redfish, also known as the red drum, and the southern flounder. Again, make sure you check the Texas Parks and Wildlife Outdoor Annual to learn how to correctly ID these fish. You may have relatives or friends that call fish by different names, but by using the Outdoor Annual, you'll be sure to identify and get the fish names correct. We have 4 contests within each division. All of our contests are based on length of fish, not their weights. That's why you're using the check-it stick. You'll need to take a picture for each of the contests that you enter on the check-it stick, even the spot pot. So let's talk about those contests. We have the longest redfish, longest flounder, or longest spotted sea trout. That is, again, the length of those 3 species of fish on the check-it stick. The next is the redfish spot pot. So you're going to count the number of spots on one side of the redfish. And this is going to be the side that's showing on the check-it stick in your picture. Our saltwater slam is for those that want to reach another level and catch all 3 species. So if you go out and you catch a sea trout, a redfish, and a flounder, and it does not have to be on the same day, it can be any time within that 8-week tournament period. Those fish will be entered in the saltwater slam and you will qualify for this contest. Lastly, we have our weekly wild card. This is a random drawing of all fish pictures that have been uploaded and verified. So what we do is we shuffle those pictures, and the one that comes to the top will win a prize. So there are 8 opportunities to have a random drawing for our weekly wild card. You can also see on the screen a picture of our saltwater Grand Slam belt buckle. We will be providing a belt buckle for both divisions this year in the spring and in the summer. I'm sure you want to compete to earn one of these belt buckles. Now let's talk about the freshwater division, which is very similar to the saltwater. The main difference are the species. So these are going to be fish that are caught inland. Could be a pond, could be a lake, could be that backyard area that you like to go fishing. So we have the bass, the catfish, and the panfish group. The bass species that we permit in this tournament are the largemouth, the smallmouth, the spotted, and the Guadalupe. Catfish species are the channel, blue, and flathead. Our panfish group is made up of crappie and the sunfish family. So those are our black and white crappie and any of the warmouth, bantam, green dollar, red spotted, red breast, long ear, red ear, orange spotted bluegill, and sunfish hybrids. This makes up the panfish group. Our contests for the freshwater division are composed of the longest bass or catfish. These are going to be your fish measured on that check-it stick. A stringer of 5 panfish. Now, this can be a mixture of panfish. It does not have to be all crappie or all sunfish. It can be a mix. A stringer is composed of those 5 different fish, and that's the beauty of us using the Fish Donkey Professional Tournament app. It auto-culls that stringer for you. So if you go out and you catch 15 fish during the tournament, it's only going to keep the longest 5 of your panfish on that stringer. We also have a freshwater slam for all 3 species caught. So if you catch a bass, a catfish, and a stringer of panfish, you qualify for the freshwater slam. We also have a beautiful freshwater belt buckle that we are offering to that individual for the spring and the summer that posts the longest of those 3 species in this contest. And then we have a weekly wild card division. Random drawing also for those fish that are uploaded and judged, verified on each of the 8 weeks in the freshwater division. All right, we're going to highlight how to use the Fish Donkey app next. Now it's time to talk about how to use the Fish Donkey Professional Tournament app. You will need to download the Fish Donkey app either from iTunes or the Google Store, depending on the type of phone or smart tablet you have. There is no charge to download this app. You will need to choose the Spring Texas 4-H freshwater or saltwater event, depending on what you have registered your child in. If your child is registered in both divisions, you'll need to set up a separate profile in each event. You set up the profile using your child's name. That is how we verify that your child is registered to participate in the tournament and enrolled in 4-H. The profile is tied to a specific email address, so it doesn't matter whose phone is used as long as the app is downloaded. If you have more than one child that's participating in the tournament, you can toggle between their profiles to enter their fish, or the easiest way to me is to set up 2 different profiles using different email addresses. All right, let's look at some screenshots from FishDonkey. On the day you go out fishing, you need to be sure to open the FishDonkey app on your phone or your tablet. You want to do this because sometimes internet access out on the waterways is not reliable. So if the app is open, you'll be able to capture those photographs of your fish on the Check-It Stick and your hero pick. And then they will download when you get back to land and you have internet service. So you'll open the app by clicking on it. You'll tap on the specific event name in which your child is registered, whether it's the freshwater or the saltwater. You'll tap on the leaderboard, which you'll see at the top on the right-hand screen. On this one, we're showcasing the freshwater division. And here you'll see largest bass, largest catfish, and stringer of 5 panfish. You're not seeing a leaderboard at this time because the contest is not open. But when it does open on April the 5th, you will see everybody's name and the length of their fish in order from longest to shortest on the leaderboard. So you'll tap on the leaderboard in which you want to enter a fish species, whether that's bass, catfish, or panfish, or if you're saltwater, redfish, sea trout, or flounder. You'll tap on the bottom of that screen to enter a fish. You'll take your hero pick and the picture of your fish laying on the Check-It Stick. You'll enter the length of your fish in a whole number and a decimal. And then you hit submit and it is uploaded into the FishDonkey app. If you need to toggle between profiles for your children, at the very top there's a little person icon. You can maybe see it in this picture on the right-hand side next to the fish. That will have your child's name up there for their profile, so make sure that you're in the correct child's profile before you go to upload pictures. Because once they're submitted, there's not a way to retrieve those pictures and switch them over to a different person's profile. All right, let's look at some more components of FishDonkey. One of my favorite features about the FishDonkey app is that it auto-culls your fish, and this comes into play in particular with our stringer of 5 panfish. So every time you upload your picture of your fish on the Check-It Stick, it is only going to keep the longest fish to make up your stringer of 5 panfish. So those smaller fish will automatically drop off. Remember, your stringer can be made up of a variety of different panfish. So you can have crappie and different members of the sunfish family. Also, the program will auto-enter your catch into the slam contest and the wild card leaderboard. So you only need to put your pictures into the major categories of your fish species. Then the app will put those pictures that qualify for the freshwater slam and saltwater slam on those leaderboards and also into the random drawing for the wild card. When your picture is taken, it is validated and time-stamped with the date and the time in which your fish was caught. This is what we use to make sure that you're fishing within the time limits of the tournament and also to use for any tiebreakers. The fish that is entered first will be at the top of the leaderboard in length. So if we have 2 fish that are the same length, then the one that was validated and time-stamped first will top the one that was entered later. So say you're out fishing and you do not have internet access, but you've got that FishDonkey app open, you're taking your pictures. They will be stored in what is called your digital live well. So you can see on my screen on the right-hand side, I have it circled in red, a picture of a fish icon. This is your digital live well. So once you get back where there's internet service, you just click on that fish icon and your pictures will automatically upload to the leaderboard. So don't panic. Sometimes it takes a little bit for them to download, especially if you've caught a lot of fish on one day. So as far as judging goes, you will see under the public comment line where your picture is stored, your species is listed, the size you've entered as far as the length, you will see whether that fish was verified. That means one of our judges has looked at your fish, made sure that all 7 of the rules have been followed. Then your fish will be considered accepted or verified. You will see that come up on the leaderboard in green that says it is verified. Okay. In the event that one of the 7 rules are not followed, that fish will be disqualified, unfortunately. The judge will put in that public comment row the reason that fish was DQ'd. So you'll see DQ and the rule number. And you can see from the example I have on the screen on the right, the picture of the fish on the check-it stick, the mouth is wide open. So this would be following rule number 3, where the fish mouth must be closed. All right, and then the fish will be zeroed out and that fish will go to the very bottom of the leaderboard. This way our leaderboard is much more accurate and up to date in order of those fish that have been verified. Now please keep in mind that sometimes the judges don't get all your fish judged on one day when you fish that particular time, because sometimes we can have over 1,000 fish entries in one tournament. So it takes some time to get through every one of those pictures and look at them and make sure that all 7 rules have been followed. So please be patient. We will have the official leaderboard standings and the placings at the very end of the tournament. All right. And another fun fact about the Fish Donkey app is that when you top the leaderboard, that means you move into first place, you will hear a donkey sound from the app. And it sounds like a donkey braying. If you've ever heard a donkey say hee-haw, hee-haw, that's the sound you will hear from the app. So it'll keep you engaged with the leaderboard so you can always see where you stand at all times. All right, I want to be sure and showcase some questions that were entered when you were registered for this educational program that pertain to the Fish Donkey app on our next slide. So here are some questions that were posed. What is the best way to take an acceptable photo to enter into Fish Donkey? Please be sure the sun is not creating a glare on the board. So that check-it stick is made of metal, and so when you're going to take that picture or your parent or someone else is taking that picture, look through your camera and make sure that it is 100% legible, that you can see the very front of the fish, that it's touching the upright portion of the measuring board, all the way to the end where the fish's tail goes to a point. And those numbers, that is so important, because if we cannot see that information, then unfortunately that fish will be disqualified. The next question is, how big do fish need to be recorded? So if you're keeping up with the leaderboard, you will see what fish and their lengths have been entered. If you catch some particularly small fish, try to think about conservation and catch and release. We want to create as little stress on our fish as possible. So if it's a small fish and you know that it's not going to be anywhere near the top of that leaderboard, go ahead and catch and release and put it right back into the water. So keep up with that leaderboard. So you can place multiple times on each leaderboard. So if you catch some big fish multiple times, different fish or different species, make sure you enter all those fish, because it's not a one-time entry that can win. All right, the next question was, do fish for the Grand Slam contest need to be caught on the same day? No. Fish are entered as caught within that 8-week tournament period. So the app will put the largest species on the Grand Slam leaderboard for you. So you don't need to worry about posting those fish there. Just put them into the major categories, and then the app will put them into the Grand Slam. All right, and the last question we had was, can multiple adults download the app for the same child? Absolutely. So you may have granddad going out fishing one weekend, mom going out fishing with the child another weekend. As long as that Fish Donkey app is downloaded to their phone, they can use that because, again, that profile for the child is tied to an email address. Just open that email address in the Fish Donkey app and you will have access to each child's profile. All right, let's look at some pictures of heroes and on the Check-It stick. There are 2 pictures that are required to be uploaded for the tournament. One is your hero pic, and you can see on the left-hand side, we have a young man holding his big bass that he caught, and this is the big bass winner for 2024. You can see it's a really nice, large fish. And so his picture, somebody took his picture of him holding his fish, and this was his hero pic that he uploaded along with his fish on the Check-It stick. So you don't have to hold your fish if you want it in a net or you want to take a picture that shows your face with the fish laying on the Check-It stick. That is fine. So, but holding it is a great way to showcase your picture with your fish. So that is your hero pic. Your other picture must be your fish on the Check-It stick. You can see 2 different Check-It sticks used up here. One is ours. It has the 4-H logo on it. But if you just have a regular Check-It stick that is not 4-H logoed, you are more than welcome to use it. It just has to have the Check-It stick brand logo on it. You can see that both of these pictures, the fish has its mouth is completely closed. The tail fin is pinched. You can read the numbers. So these would be very good pictures used for judging. Also, you can see people's hands in the picture. That is perfectly fine. If those fish are alive when you're measuring them, they're going to be flopping around. So your hands will probably need to be on that fish. And that is fine. Just don't cover up the very front of the fish, its mouth, or cover up the end of the tail. Then it will be a valid fish for judging. Now I'm going to highlight 2 of our brand new components to our sport fishing program for 2025. The first is our Sport Fishing Skill-a-thon, and this is a contest in which you will demonstrate your sport fishing skills along with your knowledge. This is an optional program that you will register for if you would like to participate in 4-H Online. So on May the 15th, you will be emailed out specific instructions on those skills that you need to demonstrate via a video. You can either set a tripod up and video yourself demoing these skills, or you can have someone video you doing these things also. You'll be given a specific time limit based on your age division, whether you're a junior, an intermediate, or a senior. You will be instructed to tie a specific knot, assemble some of your tackle like lures or bobbers, and then cast a line using your rod and reel. So all of these will be demonstrated on the video and uploaded into a Google Drive. The second part is your knowledge, and this is also based upon age division. So for example, we may provide some different pictures of fish that you'll have to identify, and it will be by common name only. You don't need to worry about the Latin scientific name. Also, questions on fish habitat and conservation, along with fishing ethic questions and regulations. All of this information will be found in your Texas Parks and Wildlife Outdoor Annual. So you'll want to be sure to read that document because this is where we're going to get our questions from. The results from this contest will be released via email and also posted on our Facebook page by June the 23rd. One question that came up when putting together this program was, do we need to catch a fish for the demo portion? No, because what we're going to be judging you on is your ability to cast with a rod and reel. So we're just looking at your skills in being a sport fisher angler. Our second component that we're introducing this year is our 4-H Sport Fishing Certification Program. So if you would like to be certified by the Texas 4-H State Office, you will need to fish in either the spring or summer tournament and upload at least one qualifying fish picture and hero pick into the Fish Donkey Professional Tournament app. You'll need to also complete and participate in all 3 educational programs. You can participate live or watch the recording that is sent to you once you register in Google. Be sure to complete the survey because that is how your participation is going to be counted. And then lastly, compete in the spring or the summer skillathon contest and demo and showcase your knowledge in sport fishing. At the end of the program, those youths that qualify to be certified will receive a certificate that indicates their certification along with a lapel pin that can be attached to your fishing hat or cap, and it showcases the 4-H sport fishing program and the year in which you became certified. This is also good information that you can include in your Texas 4-H record book, so you can showcase sport fishing as one of your project areas. Now I'd like to highlight our upcoming educational programs. The first one is going to be held on April the 3rd at 5:30 p.m. And since you've registered to participate in this program, you are automatically registered for the next 2 programs. You will receive a Zoom link just like you did for this orientation. In this program on April the 3rd, you are going to receive information on how to correctly use the check-it stick, how to close the mouth of that fish, pinch the tail, and take that picture and upload it into Fish Donkey, along with how to handle fish responsibly when you're fishing in a tournament. So all our catch and release techniques will also be demonstrated, and we'll have time at the end of this program to answer any questions that you might have on measuring and handling tournament fish. Our third educational program will be hosted on April the 17th, also at 5:30 p.m. via Zoom. It will be called Fishing 101, Basic Skills to Get You Out on the Water. So you'll learn about different lures that you can use to catch the different species of fish, whether you're fishing off the coastline or in the backyard, how to choose the best bait for the different species of fish, how to tie the 4 different fishing knots. You'll receive information on some casting tips, and then how to assemble your tackle for fishing. There'll also be time at the end of this program to answer any questions that you might have. So tune in April the 3rd and April the 17th for both of these programs. And remember, you'll need to complete the survey at the end of each of the educational components in order to certify in the sport fishing program. Now we've come to the end of our program, and on the screen you can see the QR code and the link that you can use to complete the survey on this program that you have watched today. Open your camera and you can link to the QR code that you can see, or you can enter this link and then copy and paste it into your internet browser in order to answer the question. There are 7 easy questions to follow and submit. Be sure the most important part is that you get that survey done by April the 3rd. Of course, that's when our second program is going to be offered. But make sure you enter this survey information so that your participation will count towards your sport fishing certification. So thank you so much for tuning in to our educational program today on our orientation for the sport fishing program. If you have any additional questions, you can contact me via my phone number 903-847-0598, or contact me by email at jlmacswain@ag.tamu.edu. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions you have about our sport fishing program. Be sure to follow us on Facebook at 2025 Texas 4-H Virtual Fishing, or you can get all your questions answered on our website, and all our rules can be downloaded there on the Texas 4-H Natural Resources page. I hope you have a good day and get out and fish and enter those pictures for judging. Thank you.